Hello and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto TA Charts live stream with me, No FOMO Charts. Today is May 17th, 2022. It's about 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Tuesday night here in the USA. We're going to start off with stocks and then head into crypto. I'll try to move a little faster today. First off, just want to give a shout out and thank you to MCMIX for the 200 coins at the end of the last live stream. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for following, watching, and donating. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So let's start off with the DJI, the Dow Jones Industrial Index, and we're still in stock market earnings season right now. It's retail week, so retail stores such as Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, etc. are reporting their earnings. We did have a nice little bounce here the past couple business trading days. So let's start off with the DJI. So if we just zoom out a little bit for the Dow Jones, what are we looking at here? Well, we are still in a daily downtrend. However, we did have this nice little bounce, this little pivot point right here on May 12th, right here. And some of us might be wondering, why is this happening? Well, we did get technically why. We shorted down for quite a long time. The market was going down for a long time. And so things got a little bit too oversold and a little bit too low. Also, fundamentally, the Federal Reserve Chairman basically said that he's going to raise interest rates as much as needed to combat inflation and to bring prices back down. Also, there's a little bit of good news in the past couple days about the potential that the China-Shanghai lockdowns might be easing a little bit. So that's a little bit of positive news, a little bit of positive relief in the market. So it's a combination of technical price action, bots and algorithms. Then the shorts are saying, oh, okay, if the market's going to bounce up, they need to close their position. Then longs come in and bulls say, oh, it's bouncing. Okay, I'm going to buy some, and then it goes up. So that's what we're getting. We got continuation for 3 business days. But in the big picture, however, for 2022, just like the idea I published in my Trading View profile, is it's still technically a downtrend. Still. So I am not rejoicing at this bounce yet, because from experience, I know it's going to take more than 2 days of trading to completely flip the trend and reverse the market to the upside, right? Because for almost 6 months, it has been in a downtrend. So you can see, actually, if I draw a parallel channel as such, connecting all these prices, you could just see we hit the bottom of the support. So as a swing trader in these live streams, I've been saying that as a swing trader, I'm looking for some kind of support, and there is one right here. There was one. Bounced off that. As an investor, I'm looking for way more evidence that we're going up. I was talking to one of my trading colleagues. This is not enough to call that, oh, the bull market has returned. It is not returned. We're still in a bear market condition, downtrend. This is a nice little swing trading bounce right here. So the upside target for Dow Jones, at least, is about just under 33,000 USD, because that's the middle heart line right here. Also, if we turn on some EMAs, you're going to see there's some resistance. So we could go all the way to the top. It's totally possible. It happened back in March from the March 14th low off of that positive Ukraine news. And the China, it has to do with China. Back here, why we bounced is that final catalyst was the China government said they're going to support these beaten down Chinese tech companies, and then we totally bounce. So it's sort of a little bit of a rhyme in the market. Will it go all the way to the top? That's what I'm wondering too. Will we get some serious continuation to break through and continue all the way to the top? That would be fantastic for swing trading. So just keep that in mind. So the resistance is 33,000. The immediate support under is about 32.2K. We have a lot of resistances up here at 33.7, 34K, and the support down here at 31.6. So these are the levels that we're just watching for swing trading. for Dow Jones. Also, keep in mind that some of the retail earnings coming out this week, it's going to affect this. Even though Walmart kind of basically crashed on earnings today, other stocks rallied. So it's kind of a mixed start to the week. Let's go to SPY, S&P 500. S&P 500 on the day chart. So again, we're still in this downtrend. It's slightly different though, the angle of the price structure. It's more of this broadening wedge megaphone pattern. But I do want to point out that anyone doing the work on their their own personal time, is this bottom trend line was here for a long time. It was here for 3 months. The one I'm shaking right here, the bottom trend line support, right? Because it was anybody could draw it from January 2022, and it extended out to February, March, and now all the way to May as well. So this is one perfect example that trend lines, it really works if somebody draws it and leaves it. I like to use extended trend lines. This little pro tip for TradingView, there's a tool in here called extended line over here. I like to use it because sometimes if you just draw a trend line and I don't draw it long enough, it doesn't continue all the way to the outside. I mean, you could change the settings, but I just like using extended and connect the points. And then what I do is I just lock it right here, right click it and lock it. And then now I have a reference point, so I'm not getting surprised by anything in the market. This was very visual, obvious target that if we lost, because we tried to bounce, the price tried to bounce here in the middle of the megaphone wedge pattern, but it downtrended. Once we lost that, the obvious support is right here. There's probably a left side support as well, little cluster. This one's a little trickier to see on the horizontal side, but it's still there. We basically touched that zone of the left side support. So there's double support here, and then there was a Morningstar pattern as well as candles down here. So that's why there's just triple technical reasons. Probably also on the RSI, it was oversold right here on this 4 hours and like that, exactly right here on the bottom. There's hammer candle the 4 hour as well. So there's price pattern, there's support horizontal, there's diagonal support, there's oscillator support, there's momentum support. That's saying it was going to go bullish, and it bounced up. So I actually swing traded the past couple business days, and it was nice trade for that. So that's why just doing some technical analysis that took me like 5 minutes, right? Just have some fun with the charts and make sure it's accurate. And I was able to identify level of support, and then I was awake that morning and I just entered the trade. Recipe. So where are we going to go though? Where are we going to go? Okay, the resistance is 4139 up here. There's also a resistance at 4300 up here, 4465, and then 4638. I might not get up to this one. Again, this middle kind of wedge here, there's actually another diagonal line that is the resistance. This might be more useful. So this is kind of this immediate target, 4171 on the SPX. That possibly could be the ceiling resistance up there. It's a matter of how much bull continuation are we going to get here in the volume as well. Can we press up to the resistance or not? And the support below is 4043, 3970, and 3895 as well. So please keep in mind, it is still, just like I wrote in my idea, we are still in a weekly downtrend as well, although we established that level of support on the downside, or the underside, and we're attempting that bull rally this week. So we'll see how the earnings plays out for the next couple of days. Next one, IXIC, NASDAQ. So the daily, still a daily downtrend. But you can see this particular leg, very interesting that for intermediate advanced traders, there is the Elliott wave pattern. I can see it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then are we going to get an inverse ABC correction? ABC, is it possible? It's definitely possible. That's one scenario using those tools. But using the trend theory, I knew, okay, it's going to establish some kind of lower low, right? Once we lost the support, I remember saying on a couple streams ago that we might have upside down head and shoulders, maybe, and then it broke below support, and that's canceled now. So I knew, okay, we're shooting down for a lower low. And also it's going to go probably to this price cluster on this left side. So if we mark it, this was pre-market, like somebody could draw this a long time ago and left that and know that it was going to hit in this zone. It would be interesting as well. Let me draw a quick Fibonacci support. Right at that 50% retrace, right? Just like my my idea on my profile. That's why, just quick aside, I put 10 ideas out there on the longer term charts weekly. So I did stock indexes, crypto, Bitcoin, oil, natural gas, gold, silver, Euro, USD, and as a reference, and it works perfectly, right? Or works well, not 100%, but it's better than staring at a blank chart on the chart in my computer or on my phone and I can't see anything, right? It's important to have some level of reference of where's the relative floor, where's the relative ceiling, what's the trend? Is it uptrending or is it downtrending, right? Even in the downtrend, we're going to get these little bounces for day trading and swing trading. So it's definitely possible. I mean, the appetite for risk right now is a little bit less than say 1 year ago, or a lot less because of inflation. And I just wanted to show those examples as a proof that technical analysis has use in the stock market and crypto market. And for people who like to just kind of get ahead and put in some work to get some levels in, make it easier on yourself. Again, I would just draw these extended trend lines. This one was interesting because the NASDAQ fell out below the support and now it's actually testing this resistance trend line. So it's not like the Dow Jones or the SPX where it was like bouncing off right here. It went actually below. And there's a small baby upside, I call it baby, but it's just a small upside down head and shoulders right here. That's bullish. That's green, right? So another reason, I remember staring at the charts Thursday and Friday. Instead of doing some day trading, I was just looking at the charts and saying, you know what? There is a support pattern here, and I'm going to put on some risk in this market. I mean, even with all this inflation news of interest rates going up 50 basis points, 2 to 3 times the rest of the year, I mean, we kind of hit this fear support. I'm gonna call it seldom used fear support level. And I thought to myself, okay, if this is gonna bounce, I would like to catch the bounce if possible. Like here on March 14, I still remember that, and saying, okay, here we go. And then I bought some stocks. Right? It was controlled risk to reward ratio with there's an entry. There's a stop loss exit for emergency, and then there's a profit target, and there's a double profit target up here, right? So that's just this is the swing trading way. Even for day trading and for investing, you kind of read it in the news. Sometimes these professionals, they'll actually will say, you know, that they're buying stocks, or they just kind of say what they're doing. So all of that evidence is there. Same thing with SPX. Yeah, you have candle pattern here, the triple candle pattern, upside down head and shoulders. That's bullish as well. And we bounce up the RSI. You have positive momentum, and the intraday here, similar low RSI, bullish momentum on the weekly. However, we are bouncing off this 200 EMA hammer candle, so it's all good. Potential double bottom on RSI as well. So it's just a matter of how extended to the upside can we get, and is it going to happen or not? Because if it's not going to happen, stop losses are definitely needed for trades. Because if it's just going to do this one day, bounce over and roll down, then there's no point in hodling that. Right? Got to take the profit if I'm trading. A quick question from TradingView. Do I think Bitcoin's correlation to NASDAQ 100 index could dump the price on 1 day chart? Yes, Bitcoin is correlated with NASDAQ 100. So if we just, let's just do an easy comparison here of just price. So if we just look at this from 2022, well, I can't mark it, but basically on the chart, it's 2022 for the most part, day chart. Let me flip over to a crypto Bitcoin. It's similar. It's not exactly 100% the same chart, but it's similar. Let's do that again. Go IXIC, right? So it's basically downtrending, right? Downtrending, and you have a big leg down from what, April to bottom of May. If we go back to Bitcoin, what happened? We had the dump from April to bottom of May. So yes, there is a correlation right now. So it already happened. It already happened. It's already in play. So this little relief bounce is because stocks are rising and there's global, a little bit of global positive news right now. So even for, we'll get to crypto later. All right, let's move on really fast. Let's do some of the major tech stocks because tech has led the way here. Let's just do it. I'm gonna move a little faster now. So we're looking at Apple. Okay, Apple's basically, you know, the biggest US stock, so it almost looks the exact same. But again, we're in the downtrend. We're in the downtrend of Apple, right? We found a little bounce spot down here. And it's interesting, this gray line was drawn quite a long time ago. And why did I draw it? Because there's a support level right here. We went exactly to this support level. So if somebody's drawing support and resistance and trend lines and doing real TA on their charts, this exact price level was foreseeable since September 2021. It hit the exact dot. If I zoom in, you can see it actually touched it exactly right here. Right there. Within 15 cents. That's a perfect fill. If somebody put their limit order in this yellow box right here, I mean, that's a perfect fill and they're rejoicing right now. Right? The little relief bounce. So that's what I mean. Drawing support resistance, I mean, that's core fundamental technical analysis. Now, the issue is on Apple is there is a large wedge here. Now, just like QQQ, we're testing the resistance ceiling above. So we're either going to reject down from it or we're going to penetrate into it and try to get an uptrend reversal. So I'm watching it very careful, although we do have a hanging man candle right here. Little suspicious right there of what's going to happen. But on these little intraday, we're not extremely overbought on the top side of this RSI. So that's why the bounce might be underway. It's kind of tough to call it exactly where we are in the bounce, but it's not in any extreme on the top side yet. So that's why I'm just watching for that a little bit more. Although on the intraday, it did fade a little bit in the post market, the stock price, but definitely the daily, weekly, at least the daily, we hit this support level and it bounced up. All right, let's go to Amazon. I'll do FANG stocks. Then we'll get into some of the earnings companies and move on. So Amazon right here, this is an old Fibonacci I drew from the pandemic low to pandemic high, and it hit the 786 level, exactly the blue mark that I marked on stream probably 9 days ago, right? So playing a support bounce is possible. It's never, because if we just analyze this, okay, this thing hit this support level and bounced up. This one bounced up. This one bounced up, but then it fell. This one bounced again. All right, so how much does this bounce? This is the investigation work, the detective work. Okay, 5% on that bounce, 7% on that bounce, 6%. So it's basically a 5 to 6% bounce. Did it go more than that? Wow, we went 11%. So it's a little bit over average on this bounce. Are we going to hit this resistance 618? That's a question on Amazon, right? High low. Are we going to hit this higher high and then pull back and then trend change down? That's one scenario, right? Or are we home free and the bulls are going to take over? It's just questionable right now, right? So it's just a bounce. It's not the reverse of the market yet. I need more evidence. Although it hit this oversold, it was pretty nice on RSI, Amazon. We hit that first resistance level above the EMAs. But again, on the 4-hour, on Amazon, I was awake really early this morning, like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, my time, and I was witnessing it. I said, wait a second, isn't this an upside down potential head and shoulders? That would mean we're going up this morning. And then we did. So it's the investigation work, just putting in a little bit of extra effort and work to try to make a play in the market correctly. So on the weekly, we do have a hammer candle. So it's interesting to see, was this going to sustain and probably go up maybe maximum of 12% in the next couple of months, but it needs quite a bit of follow through. On the intraday, just poke through here. 15-minute was getting a little bit, this looks, well, it's because post-market flat-lined, but we might get a little pullback tomorrow in the day trading on some of these tech names. Because it can't go green forever without a pullback. It's not Bitcoin or crypto. Okay, let's do Google. Google is not as good of a bounce, but I'm going to do a fast one. This one, it might be interesting to see if this is going to sustain, right? Because on the day chart, there is basically a double bottom support level here. It didn't quite hit the gray line, but it did hit the support zone on the bottom side. And so Google hasn't really rallied that much, probably because their earnings wasn't that great. So the response, people kind of forgot about it. But Google kind of feels like a follower at this point. I mean, it's still a top FANG stock, and there's actually some bullish momentum here. So it's going to be a matter of patience. If someone's already in this trade, or stop loss protection to protect profits, and just kind of waiting to see, is this really going to go up more or not for tech stocks? But the fact that we did find a bottom, many tech stocks, you'll see the same pattern. We downtrend and then it's slowed down. This is what I'm talking about. Swing trading for like weeks. That's what I'm saying. Oh, we have a question on TradingView. What would I recommend for someone who's new to all of this to do? I would recommend trying to study as much on TradingView as possible. There's free resources on TradingView, YouTube, Google, but my stream is this stream is fairly advanced level, intermediate advanced level. So this is not it's not really technical analysis 101. So there are videos like that on TradingView. I mean, TradingView has their own YouTube channel, so I would recommend that. There's a lot of free articles here on TradingView. But in terms of where to start, for technical analysis, it's always starting with the price. Because what are we analyzing here? We're analyzing the price and the volume of the asset, the stock or the crypto or the Forex or the ETF asset. So it's all about the price first. That the price is king in TA, technical analysis. And then there's all these tools on the left side that's free from TradingView. These are just wonderful tools, all of them. There's a lot of advanced tools here, but I would start off with price analysis, and then intermediates, more like support and things like that. Like where I could see, you could just see it visually. It's like, wait a second, the price hit this how many times? 4 times, right? So that's it's like detective work, rather than, because what a lot of people do is they just look at their phone, they just look at this, and that's not giving me real information. Once we look at a chart, at a graph of the price, then we could try to find some patterns or find some trend. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going sideways? What's going on here? But it's all about the price, right, for technical analysis. Okay. So again, if I had to say it in one sentence, pretty much you can find a lot of resources on TradingView, YouTube, and Google about technical analysis. So I would recommend starting with the price analysis. All right, let's go to Tesla, because I know that's a big one right here. All right, Tesla didn't bounce so much, but again, there's some with Twitter and Elon Musk, there's some issues there in terms of, you know, is the deal going through with Twitter and Elon Musk, or is he going to get the financing? Is it going to get canceled? The Twitter board. We'll talk a little bit more about it on Twitter. Thank you so much, Jimmy from YouTube, for the positive comments. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching and following. So we'll just see here what's going on with Tesla. So Tesla, it's a little bit trickier because everyone likes trading this, but the general psychology is, okay, well, we found a support level for Tesla price, just barely right here at 719. Right here at 719. It hit our blue zone. I like to call my blue support zone. The next level down would have been 647, but we hit 750. And the question is can Tesla bounce up from that? Right? We have a trend line resistance on the top side. We have a trend line support on the bottom side. There's a larger one here as well. There's a horizontal one. It's kind of a weird trend line, but it's there. It works. So we have all these lines right here, support, resistance in the price. But keep in mind, the long term is still downtrend. By definition, it is still downtrend. We tried to uptrend, it's still downtrending. Weekly, still downtrending. So the question is this the real bottom for the trading, or is it not on Tesla? All right, so let's get some resistance and support levels. But we did establish a higher low. That's a very key right here, right? Because it's dropping, it's dropping, it's dropping, and then it stops dropping. Then that's very critical. So if someone's a day trader and swing trader like I am, I actually felt it in the market that Thursday, Friday, like, okay, I think it's over now. We're not dropping on fear anymore. And bulls started buying. Right, but it's not really a feeling. It's more above. I did the technical analysis, and then I knew, okay, it's not dropping anymore. So I want to initiate a long if I want to put a little bit of risk on in this market. And and then at the same time, I started seeing some news articles actually confirming that idea. It's kind of interesting. But the resistance above 775, 814, 854. 900, the 3-2 Fibonacci 786, $786 right here. If this is a double bottom, this is measurable, so then it could go at 9% at if things go really well. So that could go to 845. If it goes 18%, if we go extreme bullish, that could go from the top, from the breakout, 18%. That could hit that 920 target up here. So there's the three targets. It's $786, $858, and $920 for the big targets, not the day trading. These are swing trading targets. But if the downside is fairly obvious for support, it's 723. We're looking left. There's this one candle right here that's pretty significant. So 700 psychological, and looking more left support. Just this general area right here, so maybe like 680s. Right, but we have to imagine, or not imagine, we have to interpret this as it's still a downtrend, so it's going to take some time. Again, if this is a real uptrend, and if this is the bottom of the market, for example, this thing needs to continue like this and just negate all of this left side downtrend, and we need to go up. But if it's just a little baby bounce, like I like to call it, just a dead cat bounce, there could be more downside, right? But this market, the market right now has priced in all these interest rate hikes and fear of the war, which is true, you know, but, you know, COVID, lockdown, supply chain, it just kind of feels like some kind of summer mentality that, hey, it's summer, everything's going to be fine. That's kind of what it feels like, at least for this week, for some reason. Just on social sentiment. Okay, let's do Twitter because that's related here. It's Elon Musk. All right, so somebody asked me, one of my members asked me, like, what's going to happen to Twitter? Is it going to gap fill? It did, but it's because Twitter gap filled to the downside because of bad news. Right, but even if somebody didn't know the news is, okay, if there's a triangle here and we lose the support and it's tested on this one candle, it's this not going up anymore. Right, you test it, and on the intraday, if you look probably like a 15-minute or something, right here, there's test, fail, and then the big news of, wait, Twitter deal might not work, and then it just crashed. Then the news changes, say, wait a second, there's financing and they're trying to make it work. Okay, it's going to go up. So, you know, it's a very news reactionary play. But the short here was phenomenal, right? Like I said, it was a little risky right there because the stop loss was 54.20 his original price. It was like a 12 or 10% stop loss to the top of the triangle in this blue line. But the target hit all the gap fill, and then it retraced probably to like the 618 of this actual move. Oh, into 76. Right, so could I have found that target? Yes, because there's a support. I mean, there's a support level right there, the blue, and the support level right here as well, and there's a support level here as well at 45. So once we lost 45, bears are saying, oh, they're going to take over and crush. But we did have this little intraday bounce because probably oversold on some of these oscillators. If we go 4 hour, 1 hour, right there, 4 hours low, 1 hour was low until today in the bounce. Right, but if we actually draw a triangle, symmetrical triangle, equilibrium down here. So the new targets for Twitter, this might be a little large, but it's 13% average. So 13% back up would be 42.29. 30% down would be $32. Right, measuring this, it's not the prettiest symmetrical triangle, but it's there, measurable move for swing trading. So it's really this resistance above is 38.95, support to downside 36. Right, that's the box that the price is stuck inside right now. But again, Twitter is such a news-based play. Without news, it would not have done this. We'll get to Bitcoin. I'm doing stocks right now because it's stock market earnings season. Okay, actually, we should get into the retail. So just a few of these retail stocks. It's because people always ask me about crypto, and I understand that. Right now, the correlation is stronger that the stock market for the majors of crypto was the leading indicator, and Bitcoin followed. So in this week's retail earnings, we already had Walmart today, but just FYI, I release a free weekly watch list about stock earnings volatility, some economic data, and current events and news that has some use because the stock market's always on a schedule, it's always on a calendar. So it's in the free Discord group. So this week we have Wix.com that reported Walmart, Home Depot, that's today, Lowe's, Cisco, Target, TJ Maxx. I know a lot of Wall Street bets, Reddit people were talking about TJ Maxx. So I might watch that one a little closer. Kohl's, Ross, Foot Locker, and more. So these are kind of these retail stores. And let's start with Walmart. All right, the ultimate discount store. So Walmart is a large discount retail store in America. Here you could pretty much buy everything inside Walmart. And if we put our Fibonacci's right here, we could have seen, even before the earnings on Walmart, there's a bearish head and shoulders. So Walmart was already going down before the earnings report even came out. This is the power of technical analysis. That there's already a bearish bias on this stock before the earnings, just like Netflix. Then, once the bad earnings report came out, the bears are going to attack, boom, down, crash. Just like Netflix. We'll take a look at Netflix for like a couple minutes. Right, where's the target? Where's the target? It's Fibonacci. We lost this, I'm going straight down to here. The 50% retrace 130 or lower. So again, for earnings, I would caution people, just wait a day or two after the earnings. Let the big major companies do whatever they're going to do with the stock. Or you just don't want to be on the beginning end of that move and then be in the wrong trade. Like if somebody was long Walmart, it's terrible trade to try, cannot hold that negative 11%. That's bad. That's real bad. Right. So it is oversold, but again, why? Because they didn't make that much I mean, they had good revenue, but the earnings per share not so great, at least on these two metrics on TradingView. Also, if you just think about it, if there's inflation, when I go to the gas pump and I see $6 gas, I'm thinking people are not going to be spending as much right now. So where do people go shop? They shop at Target, they shop at Walmart. Even though consumer spending was up, it's just psychologically, people might not be in super spending mode right now when everything is so expensive. That makes sense. So watch out for that, Walmart. All right, let's get support resistance trend and then we'll move on because this one's already over. So support at 130, $130. We look left. So where else do we have support? 127, 124, and then 618 down here in 120. If it's gonna get, oops, excuse me. Retract that, cancel that. I was looking at the wrong candle pattern. So we'll go do it again. Let me zoom in. Call it a little higher, like 131, 127, 123. Just a little bit higher than that. But the trend is down, right? This is a good case study. If we just turn to white, Walmart was uptrending for a month, and then we had the rounding top pattern, the consolidation, and then it's downtrending, and then it crashed. This is Wyckoff theory in a nutshell. So very interesting case study. Netflix did the same deal, but Netflix was terrible. Netflix was terrible, right? We had the this is like the bearish play. Everybody's doing this right now. Head and shoulders, downside, bad earnings, multiple quarters in a row, complete crash to the downside. Okay, so let's take a look at, let's get ahead of this. Let's take a quick look at Home Depot. So Home Depot, there was a bounce opportunity way back here in March, so that's what this green box was. So that's over now. But same thing with Home Depot is it's in a downtrend after this double top. It's in a downtrend right now. And with the earnings, let's see. It's actually pretty good. See, TradingView, here, quick aside, TradingView, you pretty much have most of what you need here, almost everything. You have news on the right side, you have a watch list, your alerts, the data window for exact numbers, right? There's all the tools here. It's just a matter of what kind of account does a person have, and then what kind of tools and indicators do they like and know how to use. It's all here, except for a free TradingView account, which is wonderful. It's so many perks, but if you want to save your work, you might have to get a pro account. Save the chart. You can still like take a screenshot of it though on a free account. All right, but anyways, on this daily, right, still downtrend. Where's the support? Use the 2021 low. Right here, bounce right up to 786 support level. Right up to the where? 618. Right up to 618. Is this an upside down head and shoulders? Possible. Possible. What's the measure move here? 5%. 5% to the upside is what? 311. 10% to the upside, just in case we go extreme bullish. On the sector, it's 326. That's our Fibonacci level. So this is potential upside down head and shoulders, which is bullish. Target 311, 326. That's a serious target for Home Depot. Resistance, support to the downside, 293 and 281 on the downside. Weekly, let's check this. Similar, a little bit of momentum building here. There is some momentum. It's a little dirty, but it's there. Bullish momentum. Bullish momentum. It's in this neutral zone on the RSI on the 4 hours chart, hitting that 200 EMA. It's a little choppy. This is not the prettiest looking chart. So again, Home Depot is a little bit choppy and it's mostly price action. There's some options in there as well. So that's already over though. Somebody had a question about Lowe's. Let's take a quick look at Lowe's. You know, the other day I went to Lowe's store myself to buy something. So Lowe's is a hardware store in the USA, just like Home Depot's is. Home Depot. So Lowe's in the downtrend still, but they have their earnings reporting tomorrow PM after market. It'll be interesting to see. So again, somebody asked me about the support levels, and finally we're doing this chart here. So extended trend lines on the top side. It is in downtrend, so I'm gonna lock this in. I'm gonna lock this down. There's a steep one right there. There is this one right here. So again, I might erase the top one, but these trend lines were here for a very long time. This bottom support trend line was here for since January, 3 months. I only had to draw one line to understand that there might be some support price trend line on this left side, and then the right side we have the resistance as well. Right? I like using Fibonacci. So if I Fibonacci for a year from we'll just do this right into the 618 with the potential upside down and shoulders. So if Home Depot, I'm not gonna, this is not a prediction, but I'm just saying, well, if Home Depot had good earnings, maybe Lowe's might have good earnings too, maybe. So we'll see tomorrow. But the measured move just for this is 4%, 4 to 8% on the upside, 4% 203 right here, 8% 211 around there. But for if something bad happens with the fundamental news, look at downside, support 186. Look left for some more support right here. There's a candle, big candle wick right here at 179 and 181. So that's our downside risk. We'll do a couple more and we'll go to crypto. I'll do Target and TJ Maxx. Because Target is a similar store to Walmart, department retail store. People can just buy anything, everything there. So Target, this chart does not look like Walmart chart though, the price. So this is different. It's very choppy, right? There was the down reversal and then uptrend potential. It makes sense though. Why? Because much like Costco was in March, is when people need to go shop psychologically. Okay, it's just a psychological social sentiment. It's when something bad happens in the world or you need to stock up on supplies. In America, it's probably going to Costco, Walmart, or Target, or the grocery store for supplies. So that could also sometimes boost the stock price, just because people are just buying everything, and including the actual stock. So